What is up, cool cats of the interwebs? It is your girl Haley back at it again with another episode of the pre-review crew. This time for July and August. Before we get into the games, let me introduce you to our cast of characters. As always, we have Brennan.
Holla at your boy.
Please don't. And we have Mike.
Uh,
So let's kick it back over to July, review those games before we preview what is coming out in August. So we are going to take it back to Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced, action adventure game developed by Ubisoft Singapore and published by Ubisoft, came out on PS5, PC, Xbox Series S and X on July 9th. Currently sitting in an 85 top critic average with 93% of critics recommending.
and a 100 player rating. I just saw that right now.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, yeah. From what I've read, this is an actual good remaster. People are saying, like, if you've never played it before, if you did play it, that they did more than just, put a little bit of paint over everything. Like, they fixed things, they added things, and they actually took care of the game before just, instead of re-releasing it, they actually went through and took care of the game.
Yeah. This looks really good. I'm really I want to say excited. I feel like I just played Black Flag like a couple years ago, so I think I'm gonna wait for a sale. But I'm like really looking forward to playing this again, and like this version especially. I'm really happy that they got rid of all the modern day parts. I'm glad that they like revamped the parkour and the combat. Um, yeah, there's just like little things, taking on your off and on your hood, being able to select the sea shanties and stuff. I think it's just I don't know. I'm really excited. I'm glad that they Ubisoft did like a proper job here. I feel like this was if you asked anyone like a couple years ago, this should have been like a home run, and I'm glad that it kind of was, because like we've seen remasters that just promise a lot and then just get flushed down the drain like a week later. So I'm glad that this is doing well.
Yeah, this is going to be one I'm going to pick up sometime in the future. I never played Black Flag.
Oh,
This
it's
is
the
one.
best one. Like very easily, like genuinely
Yeah.
one of the best ones.
Yeah, so I might pick this up in the future.
It
Honest,
like it. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
You go.
I was just gonna say that I feel like outside of like Assassin's Creed 2, Black Flag is like the game that everybody knows. Like this is you say Assassin's Creed, they're like, "Oh my god, Black Flag."
Because like I feel like it just goes like yes, I mean people do think of like Assassin's Creed 2 specifically. I think that was like when it kind of reinvented itself. Like it took everything from the first one and then just made it 1,000 times better. But Assassin's Creed 2 was still just like an Assassin's Creed game, whereas Black Flag like felt more like a proper pirate game. Especially for the time. I feel like there weren't really that many like good solid open world pirate games at the time, and this was a good balance between pirate game and Assassin's Creed. So I think that's like partially why people lean into it as much as they do, because like it's more than just your typical running around like cities and stuff. Like getting on the ship and like being able to like actually be a pirate is kind of fucking awesome. Like there's no greater thrill than like disabling someone's ship and then pulling up next to them and then having your crew just like jump onto the ship, and you take out like a bunch of people and the captain and stuff. It's just like such a really cool thing, like, and it happens organically. There's no cutscene. Like it just kind of happens, and it's like that's fucking sick. That's why it's one of the best ones easily. And then the story is really good too. But it's like a proper fucking pirate game.
I do like pirates.
I feel like even when this game originally released, like everybody was head over heels for it. They were like, "Oh my god, yes, like this is what we wanted, this is what we needed." And to see it doing so well again, especially after the years that Ubisoft has had trying to just come back in any semblance. Um, I feel like this is what they really needed. And I almost wish like that they never strayed from this. Like, don't get me wrong, I think Origins and Odyssey, um, and the Japan one, like I think they're cool, but I'm just like, why did we give up on this type of Assassin's Creed game?
Valhalla was your favorite.
No, Syndicate's my favorite. I told Emily because I've finished watching Peaky Blinders, and I was like, I need a new show to watch, so I started watching Vikings, and I was like, oh, this makes me want to go back and play Valhalla, and then I sat there and I went, I'm never picking up that fucking game again. I cannot sit through the fucking repetitiveness that it is of going somewhere liberating it, going somewhere liberating it. Like it's fucking annoying. I was done after doing that the second time. I will never touch that. You can't pay me. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm.
Okay, I'll put the stack of hundreds back.
I'll do something else for those later on. But anyway, um, yeah, I'm really happy that this has done as well as it has.
Yeah, because I was half expecting Ubisoft to make all these promises and then just put out like a half-assed, remake. But I mean, they're showing, them and Capcom are showing what a remake looks like. Or remaster. This one's a remaster, sorry.
Tomato, tomato. Anyway, let's kick it over to Echoes of Aincrad.
Ironcrad.
Aincrad, there we go. Close enough. It's an action JRPG developed by Game Studio Inc. and published by Bandai Namco. Came out on PS5, Xbox Series S and X, and PC on July 10th. Currently sitting at a 63 top critic average with 26% of critics recommending.
I had such high hopes for this game. It's an idea that I waited for a long time, and I'm actually kind of disappointed. Because I was thinking of getting it, and then they had a demo. I downloaded the demo. I think I played like 45 minutes of it, and I haven't touched it since.
I Is this like a is this new or is it like a remake?
That's the sad part. It's new.
Oh shit.
Don't choke.
I didn't expect this to get so low, especially it being, tied to Sword Art Online, and like the videos and stuff like make it look really cool. Um, so it sucks that it's not doing very well.
If for me, it's like they're just other JRPGs that are doing things better. Instead of getting this, go buy a Tales game. Go buy the latest Grand Fantasy. Like those are better. They do things better. So
Would you say that this almost just didn't need to be made?
I think it needed to be made. It just wasn't made with the care that it required.
What do you think could have made it better?
Just like I said, I only played the demo. So, but it was like the combat was decent. Um, but it just felt generic. Is the best way I could put it. Like I said, they're just JRPGs that do things better. Like I
So,
like Grand Blues. I like Grand Blue Fantasy's combat more. I like the story pacing to Tales more. What was the latest one? Tales of Arise. Um, that one was a good JRPG. This is just the biggest appeal to this is it's in Ironcrad, and we're not playing as Kirito, so that's like the biggest pull for this. But if you really love Sword Art Online, I mean, it could appeal to you because hey, I could finally play. It was like Hogwarts Legacy, I could finally play as a wizard. I could finally play, Sword Art Online myself. But if you're looking for a better action game, like I said, there's better.
Well, that's sad. Brennan, you got
Yeah.
anything to
So
add?
Um, this just kind of did a little bit like I kind of expected. It just seemed like a very generic, generic action JRPG, but with Sword Art Online flavor. I'm not surprised. I feel bad for Mike, but yeah.
yeah, for all the games I was waiting for this year, this was one of them, and it just kind of disappointed. Hopefully, the game we're going to talk about in a few minutes that I chose actually steps up.
I can't insult Mike, so let's just move on.
What do you mean, Mike? You insult me every time we talk. Like, what are you talking about?
It wasn't me. Next game we're going to talk about is K-pop Idol Stories Road to Debut. It's a life sim visual novel developed by Wasageni Studio and published by P Cube. Yeah. It came out on PC, Nintendo Switch, PS5, Xbox Series S, and X on the 16th. Right now, it doesn't really have a lot of reviews. The average seems to be about a 7. Um, yeah.
I
It's.
expect.
Mm,
I said I was expecting this to crash and burn.
Yeah, I there is a demo. I didn't play it because I anticipated on picking it up. Um, but from when this first came out, the reviews on Steam uh were positive, and then all of a sudden it just became mixed very fast.
Mhm.
It seems like a lot of people are just not impressed with it because there's only like 4 hours of gameplay. There's not a lot to really do. Everything's super easy. Um, like it doesn't have as much management as people thought it would be. Um, and people were just expecting a lot more out of it, which I can completely understand. Um, I think that I do want to play this. Um, I want to wait to see if they put out any additional content or like what updates they bring to the game before I spend money on it.
Yeah, from what I'm reading, it's a decent 4 to 6 hour romp. So I
Because
mean, if you got a few hours to kill, that this game seems to be a game to look at, especially for like K-pop.
yeah, and like I I want a little bit of a challenge, and that's one of the reasons why I'm sort of holding off on buying this is because everybody's like, "Oh, it's just easy." And I'm just like, okay, let me wait. Let me see what they do with all this feedback and where they take it. Because I'm especially curious, like, if they'll put out sort of like any DLC or anything, like, say they bring in like a boy group, like, I think that would be super neat. Um, but yeah, I'm curious to where this goes. I'm definitely going to keep an eye on it because I do want to play it. I need a little bit more to entice me to actually drop like $20 on it.
$20?
Yeah, it's on sale right now for $15.99, but full price is $19.99.
I figured this would have been like a $10 game.
Yeah, that's also another reason why I've like held off, because I'm just like $20, like in today's economy, bud, that's a lot of money. Like, you need to really give me something to entice me to spend $20 on your video game, and right now it's not doing that.
Yeah, things are expensive right now. You gotta pull this in now.
Yeah.
Unless you're Grand Theft Auto and you just announce a game and everybody buys it.
Yeah, honestly, I think they could label some dog shit and there'd be people out there that just buy that shit.
I'm gonna laugh if GTA 6 is horrible.
I feel like they lock their developers in a basement and that's the only thing that they're allowed to work on. Like, they
You
have
open a door. You open a door at Rockstar. All you hear is "Feed me."
Yeah, like it's a complete like underground facility. Like, everybody lives underground. They're basically mole people, but it's like real nice and clean. They have their own houses. It like simulates daytime and nighttime, but they all live underground. But anyway, moving on to the games that are upcoming for August. We are going to start it off with Beast of Reincarnation. It's an action RPG developed by Game Freak and published by Fictions. It's coming out on PC, Xbox Series S and X, and PS5 on August 4th.
Wait, this is made by Game Freak?
Yes.
Huh. I did not know they were making this game.
I saw this and honestly, I wasn't really impressed with any of the games coming out in August. But I saw this and I was like, oh, that looks really cool. Um, and it was reminding me a little bit of what's that game where her name's Aloy?
Oh, Horizon
Starblade?
Zero Dawn.
Yeah, but just in the sense that like it's like a dystopian, everything's overgrown,
Yeah.
monsters, things like that. So,
Honestly, this to me it gives me Sekiro vibes if it wasn't as hard as Sekiro is. Like if you had people who didn't like Sekiro because it was so hard, like this could be the game you like because, you know, sword combat. I like that they added the wolf. I
it
think that's
has
a nice
different
little
like
addition.
tails and things like that.
Yeah, that's really cool. I also like that you can like make the world blossom around you because I saw like in the combat, she was making trees that like ensnared the enemies, or she had to get across like a cliff. She formed a bridge. So I mean,
I think it's
looking
her
at
hair.
this, is it her hair?
I think so. I think she can like make bridges out
Okay.
of her hair. Um,
What? No, that looks like vines. Like it's like a
yeah, I
not
think it comes out of her hair.
what the fuck?
Oh, okay. But yeah,
Oh, you're right. Never mind. Yeah, you're right.
this is like that action RPG you want, but you don't want to be tossing your controller at the wall because of how hard Elden Ring is.
This looks like Japanese Nier Automata.
Now that you say that, yes, it does look like that.
There's just something about it where I'm just like, that's I don't know. It seems really cool, and like every time I see Game Freak, I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah, like I didn't know they were making this. I thought they're busy with Pokemon Winds and Waves.
so like, wait, hold on. I need let's just take a step back. You're
Brendan's
telling
like
me that
dumbfounded.
they could have made something of this quality fucking forever ago, and we're dealing with Pokemon is still just garbage year in and year out.
People are gonna riot now.
Dude, what is this?
Yeah, so when Haley said Game Freak, I was like, when in the world did they find time to do this? We got like 20 Pokemon games coming out this year and next year. Like,
So one of the comments under the IGN video, the final preview video for this Beast of Reincarnation, someone says, "I guess this is Game Freak's way of saying it's not us, it's Nintendo." So like, yeah, does Nintendo really have the boot on their throat that hard that they can't do anything like outside of something safe and or terrible?
But I mean, you also have to like. We also don't know how this game is going to actually be. Like, is it
but
actually?
just knowing that they have the ability to make anything other than Pokemon shocks me.
Yeah,
Like somebody said, this is what Game Freak can give us when they're not under Nintendo's watch.
They have an underground facility. Game Freak's like, yeah, Nintendo, we totally don't have a secret facility where we're secretly making other games because we just don't want to make Pokemon anymore.
We don't secretly have a base in the atmosphere where we make games other than Pokemon.
But yeah, I thought this looked really cool and looked like a setting wise looked like a variety of games that have come out recently that seem to have a pretty good track record. And I was like, this is just really interesting. And it's really cool because I when I saw that like it's her hair, I was just like, okay, so vegetation has sort of like somehow crossed over with humans.
Mhm.
And like now you have those abilities to like grow things and adapt, and like the the fox or the dog or whatever um and its tail. Ugh.
No, I like the design of the wolf. The wolf looks really cool.
The next game we're going to talk about is Fields of Mystria. It's a
Oh my god.
farming sim. Interesting. Developed and published by NPC Studio, coming out on PC on August 5th. Oh my god, our games come out literally 456.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
noticed that when I looked at the chart earlier.
yeah. This is my pick. Mike and I were talking during the little hydration break. Um, I've been following this for a while. I'm pretty sure I bought it when it first just went into early access, and like it's been almost 2 years. They went through a bunch of major updates, but the 1.0 version is coming out. Um, I will go over I will read off some of the patch updates. So there's NPC heart caps raised to 10 hearts, and there's no proposal and wedding events. I guess that wasn't before. There wasn't like marriage and children before. Okay, that's cool. Um, it's more quests to like repair the town. So like bottom line, uh, Fields of Mystery is a Stardew Valley essentially, but just more fantasy, and it has a lot of. Uh, Mike and I were reading through the reviews before to see like what makes it stick out because I haven't played it in a long time. Um, but there's apparently people are saying there's a lot of like quality of life enhancements that Fields of Mystery does that Harvest Moon and Story Seasons and Stardew Valley don't have. But it stands out on its own by just being like more fantasy esque. Like there's magic, and just the whole setting itself is just way more fantasy. But there's like a whole like storyline where you like repair the town. Like Stardew Valley isn't very like narrative focused, but this actually has like a main story that you follow because you have to like revitalize the town or whatever. Um, yeah, so I guess that they like finished adding the town repair storyline as well as like finally adding the marriage and children. So it seems like the game is like you can actually complete it, you know. But yeah,
Because
this seems really cool.
we all know everybody wants to get married.
Yeah, that's kind of like fuck the town. Honestly, the town can burn. I just want the hot goth mommy to bear my children.
Yeah,
Honestly,
like I said, I want her to step on me.
get out. This is honestly really fucking cute, and I feel like I've had this on my wish list, but I never paid attention to it before. Um, I'm curious as to like who these other two people are that they haven't released yet, but Rena is looking so cute. None of these guys are interesting or nerdy enough.
Yeah. I don't quite remember who I was going for. Um, I forget. Juniper is goth mommy for sure. Adeline is adorable. There's just something about pink haired chicks that I'm just like oh my god. Um,
Remember that for the future.
I have to
yeah.
dye my hair a different color.
Yeah,
Well,
his hair is pink. I remember.
wait, is your hair pink? What the fuck?
Yeah, my hair's pink.
Yeah, Haley's hair is pink.
All right, funny. All right, funny story. Completely unrelated, but this reminds me of something. So in high school, I was like quote dating this girl for a little bit, right? And I don't know, like I hung out with her like like a Thursday or Friday or whatever. Didn't see her all weekend. Coming to school on Monday, she dyes her hair hot pink, like her whole head hot pink. And I was just like, yeah, I have to break up with you. It was just one of those things where it's like, I can't do this anymore. And I remember going over to her locker, like at the end of the day, and like all of her friends, like I was like, oh, hey, like, let's talk after school. And her friends just kept ganking her and being like, oh my God, like, I love your hair. It looks so nice. And I was just sitting there like, oh, fuck. Here I go. I say all of that, you know, fucking 12, 14 years later, being like, oh yeah, the girl with the pink hair, the 2D, the 2D anime waifu is hot as shit. Meanwhile, in real life, I gave that up like a fucking lead ball in a river. Oh my god. She's married now, so everything worked out.
She's not
Not the,
married to
the
Brennan, so
oh, thank God. That's fine. She's a nice girl. No, nice girl. Don't get me wrong. She's completely normal, nice girl. Um, the hot pink hair thing though was that threw me off, man. I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready for the implication that could have. Like you know that's like a I'm gonna quit my job one day, sort of decision where it's just like, oh, we have to live with that now, right? Like you understand that we have to live with this for a long time.
I got used to it. My wife's hair is it's green right now, but she's had other colors.
That's completely fine. I'm not knocking anyone that dyes their hair. It's just when you go from like this really attractive like strawberry blonde to hot fucking pink, like
Pretty pink.
neon pink, like glow in the dark pink, dude. Holy shit! And at least tell me, at least be like, hey, do you like this color, like or something? I don't know, like literally anything. If I shaved my fucking entire head over a weekend and I was dating somebody, I would imagine that they'd be a little shocked when I came back and saw them. And then like I imagine, and if you're a bit superficial like Brandon was in high school, that's a deal breaker, man. I'm so off track right now. This is all because of hot anime mommy.
his standards have definitely changed over the years.
They've gotten lower. They've gotten way lower.
Um, I think I definitely want to play this. Actually, I might pick this up the next time I get paid. But I
Oh,
think, huh?
I was about to say I told Brendan during the hydration break. I'm probably picking this up tonight.
Like, And it's Steam Deck verified, which makes me really happy because I like playing farm sims like from my couch. Um,
Same.
Toby Fox, why does that name sound familiar?
He did the he did the oh god, he did the music for Undertale.
He's doing the music for this one. Um, but
Nice.
yeah, this is really cute. I think this is everything that I wish Sunhaven was. I like Sunhaven and I'm decently far into it. Definitely haven't done everything. Um my biggest gripe with Sunhaven is that the maps are fucking huge and you have 3 different farms to go through. So like there's a lot to do, but also it's like overwhelming to a point. Um but I do love a good farming sim.
So do I. Yeah, that's why this is really catching my eye right now.
I'm really like okay, Haley buy this game now. Oh, it is on my wish list. Nice. Okay. I am definitely buying this shit. It's so cute. Like the colors are so vibrant and everything is just adorable. I'm very curious to see like what mods and stuff come out for it. But anyway, the last game on our list for the month of August is one that we have talked about previously. It is Marvel Token Fighting Souls. It's an arcade fighter developed by Arc System Works and published by PlayStation Publishing, coming out on PC and PS5 on August 6th.
So yeah, this is at the beginning of the year where we talked about our most anticipated games of the year. Um, this was the one for me. I'm a huge fighting game fan. This year I've been playing a lot of Tekken, Street Fighter, Underbirth, Blaze Blue, but this is like for me this is what we should have gotten from the last Marvel vs. Capcom. Like I was watching they're doing an open beta. We're recording this episode right before the open beta, and watching the gameplay, I'm just like, this is what I've been waiting for a long time. Plus, it's made by my favorite studio, Arc System Works. So just know I'm disappearing for like a month when this game comes out.
Great
I
awkward
like how this looks.
silence.
It like the it like looks like a comic book. It looks really nice.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so they've been introducing some really out there characters. Blade's gonna be in it. Loki's gonna be in it. Green Goblin. So yeah, like you said, it looks like a comic book because like when the ultimates happen, like it's all done in like panels and frames.
Blade is going to be in this.
Yes, he is. They announced him at
I'm sold.
Evo last month or this earlier this month.
I like that though. Like I like that they're putting in characters um that you haven't really seen before or you might have seen once and then they
Yeah,
just like completely disappeared.
yeah. So, so I gotta pre-order the deluxe edition soon when I get paid. I get paid the week before this game comes out. So
Oh, there's Carnage too. That's sweet.
Marvel
yeah, like everybody was talking about having Venom, but instead they put Carnage.
Yeah, that's actually really cool.
I was just going to say Marvel has a lot of superheroes and villains and just characters in general that they can do a lot with. And honestly, I wish they would do exactly that. Do more with all these characters that you have. And of course, you want to include like the popular characters because that's who everybody knows, and that's really going to bring in the fans who might not follow on a deeper basis. But it's like, why not make these people relevant and bring them back and make them popular?
And then yeah, because you pick characters like guys like me, who read the comic books. You see that character, like, oh snap! Like Green Goblin, like that one actually took me by surprise, and I was like, I might mess with some Green Goblin when this game comes out.
Yeah. Like I hope that there is, I'm assuming they're not done announcing.
They've announced every character.
Oh, okay.
Whether they're gonna have secret characters, so that'd be pretty cool. Like, you beat the story mode and like all of a sudden there's just like a secret character they didn't announce. They haven't said, but they did say the first season of the game, the first year is far more characters. So we just gotta sit around and see who else they pick.
That makes sense. I feel like they're definitely going to probably do like DLC characters, I would assume.
Yeah, that's what they announced for
Yeah.
characters. Um wouldn't surprise me if they're X-Men characters with Doomsday coming out soon.
Mm, I forgot about that. This is cool. This looks, and I agree with Brennan. I do like the art style that they chose
Mhm.
for this. I think that's really neat. I
Yeah.
just I I want more people. Oh my god, I love Doctor Doom's Supreme Ruler costume.
That's who my brother's playing. That's his favorite comic book character, is Doctor Doom.
It's giving like Napoleon.
Kind of, yeah.
This looks really cool. Like, I'm not big into fighting games because I'm not good at them. But if I were to play one, I think I'd probably play this one because it's colorful. The characters seem cool. I like the art style. It would actually keep me entertained. Oh,
Yeah. 2XKO disappointed me, so now I gotta wait for this one.
I want to play Blade.
Play
Yo,
the beta this weekend.
listen, I am so mad that they are not making the Blade movie anymore. That's some ass right there. Like, straight fucking piss me off.
Then buy this game and play some Blade.
God damn
Come square up against me.
it. We need Blade to come back.
We'll have a pre-review crew tournament.
Oh god. Oh my god. I I'd lose. I'd lose so fast. But yeah. So those are all the games that we have, the ones that we reviewed for July and previewed for August. So we're going to briefly kick it over to any final thoughts about the games that we talked about before we talk about two very important topics going on in the gaming industry.
Yes.
Anything to say about the games we talked about?
No.
Okay, Brennan, you got
Uh,
anything?
it's August seems like a very like slow-ish month.
There's some stuff coming out, so y'all be entertained until GTA 6 comes out.
Silent Hill Townfall comes out in September. I'm very curious about that.
Yeah, I'm keeping my eye on that one.
But the two little things to talk about. First, I'm just gonna put them both out there. We can go back and forth on these ones. We're gonna talk about Sony doing away by 2028 with their physical media discs, and then also talk about how a couple years ago Sony and Xbox were buying up a lot of game studios, and now Xbox is either dissolving them, selling them off, or those studios are leaving and just going
Yeah,
independent.
because I think they said 10,000 layoffs or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Which to me, because like you said, they were buying all these studios and they were doing like all this crazy expensive stuff. And to me, it's like they counted their chickens before they hatched. Oh, and so now it's like they have to do all these layoffs. It's not the and what's sad is it's not the developers' fault or the actual game developers that are working for them. It's not their fault. But it was like you guys screwed up, and now 10,000 people got to pay for your screw up. Like that's kind of messed up.
Especially in today's economy, like I feel
Yeah,
like jobs are becoming harder and harder to find, and the gaming and tech industry is a bit oversaturated, so it's like where do you go?
like did you do the math and see how much 10,000 salaries like would come out to cost? Like I feel right now with Xbox is they're having to do a lot of damage control with what a lot of people were messing up before they retired last year. And it's going to make them look really, really bad because now they're realizing, hey, we can't keep all these people. Like, why did you go buy all these people? We can't manage it. And so now they're going to look like the bad guys because they're like, in order for us to sustain ourselves, we have to get rid of them. You know, it's just really sad when it comes down to it. It's
I
just
feel
sad.
like Xbox is or Microsoft is sort of like in a midlife crisis. Like they're trying to redesign their self for the future because they understand that like console really isn't a thing. It is slowly becoming a thing of the past, and I feel like they don't know what to do and how to take that. So I feel like they're running around sort of like SpongeBob everything's on fire panicking because they're just like, "Oh shit, like we bought this and we designed this and we've done this and how do we sustain ourselves for the future
Hmm.
when we've put our money into every single pool that's out there?" And now they're like, "Ooh, maybe that wasn't a good thing."
I love that analogy. Um, yeah, it's just bad all around. Because they're not the only ones, the past few years doing massive layoffs. We're seeing this has become a sort of a trend in that, we're seeing layoffs. That's why it made me laugh. Koei Tecmo, who are a prominent Japanese developer, started.
Tell me my phone's ringing.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, dang it.
Um, yeah, Koei Tecmo. Sorry, some of the wife happened. Um, they were bragging like they were like in the past couple of years we've hired 500 people and we got this, we have the funds to hire 1,000 more, and it's like they're showing you don't need these giant, 50,000 people companies. you can get away with 4,000 and make tons of money.
Brennan.
I just think it's sad that it's like there's just like a lot of people getting laid off. That there's like I read that it was like 1,600 over the past couple weeks, and it's going to be another 1,600. Um, I just keep reading. To be honest with you, it's like yes, while that while that's the topic that we were talking about, I've been personally more interested in how, at least in terms of like the Bethesda and Obsidian news, how the new CEO, like I think that Obsidian got hit. They got hit with maybe like a quarter of their staff got laid off. They had to cancel an Avowed 2 sequel. Well, I mean, it's a sequel to Avowed. And instead they were shifted onto a new Fallout game, which is like, I think that that's part of the damage control strategy. Is that I think that um, I can't say this for sure because I'm not a video game developer, but I feel like lately a lot of devs have been making games that they want to make as opposed to what would sell, right? Like, why has it taken, Bethesda like 17 billion years to come out with the new Elder Scrolls game or new Fallout or something, or give it to Obsidian for spinoff? Like that would make bongo bucks, right? Avowed did not make bongo bucks, but you know what would? Another Fallout game. And I think that's like partially some of the damage control, right? I think that like they're gonna have to start. Xbox is gonna have to start, or Microsoft specifically is gonna have to start like micromanaging these companies. I think that's maybe what happened was that they bought all of these companies thinking that like, okay, we'll just have them all under one umbrella, but they kind of like were too loose in their control, right? And again, they were just kind of making whatever the devs wanted. So now that I think that like Xbox, if you buy all of these companies, like I feel like you have to have some kind of input, right? Like giving them complete freedom is, we've seen what happens with that, right? Like they end up just getting shut down because they're not making money. And I think that's because partially I think that not like Microsoft should have put them in line, right? Like we should have had a fucking Fallout game from Obsidian like forever ago. I think that partially would have solved something, right? So it's just really frustrating to see like that. Why we're only getting that because of they're not making money, right?
Yeah. And I think that's sad. It's like, oh, we're seeing all these layoffs and everything, and then to like distract us, they just announced a new Fallout game.
Yeah.
It's like they're like you said, it's damage control because it's like, oh crap, everybody's seeing we're on fire. What do? I know, let's just throw a blanket over Fallout.
That, and like it would at least make up for if it's gonna sell, like it probably will,
Yeah,
but like
it's
but
Fallout.
it's yeah, exactly, it's like one of the bigger IPs that Bethesda has, and like yeah, it's but you're right though, it is also damage control too. I think it is like a smoke screen in a way. It's like a honestly, because when I was reading the news and like we got the Bethesda came out with like a whole thing recently saying that they're working on Fallout 5, they're working on Elder Scrolls 6. The remasters for Fallout 3 and New Vegas were both confirmed. I was hoping that they would get shadow dropped like Oblivion would, but I think that Bethesda needed some kind of like good faith. It must not be ready yet, but maybe like for the holidays, I guess, if I had to guess at all. But it's like it's just sad that like it feels like that somebody had to step in and metaphorically, and I hate to use this term, but I can't think of anything else, like crack the whip,
Mhm.
and it's like get these people back into shape because like fuck off, Starfield's not doing anything, man. Fallout 76, like Elder Scrolls Online, just because it's like the only reason it's doing any well is because there's like 5 people paying for like the online subscription for, a year or whatever. That's the only reason it's making any money. But like, they need to be doing more, and I think that the reason that no one's been doing anything leads to this. It's like it's like having a shitty kid. They were a good kid, and now they're a shitty kid. It's kind of the parents' fault, right? Like it's like you should knock a kid into shape, right? Because otherwise you're just going to disown them, and that looks bad on you, and it looks bad on the kid. It just looks bad for everyone. It's a really weird metaphor. I'm so sorry.
You're good.
I think my only like downfall with that is like, yeah, you want to crack the whip on them, but you also don't want to just sort of, I would say, almost be like a Ubisoft machine and consistently making the same shit over and over and over again. Like, you want to give them leeway and you want to allow them to make new things, but it's like you need some sort of stop to it. And you also need to be critical. Like, in today's day and age, if you're going to make a game, you need to make sure that game can actually sell.
Mm-hmm.
And while I would love for all developers to make all the games that their little hearts desire, I think, yes, it is smart that the bigger companies be critical on these studios, but also if a big company like Xbox or Microsoft is going to buy a small studio or going to buy a studio in general, I think they also have to keep in mind what kind of studio that they're buying and what that studio is capable of and what that studio has put out in the past, and just make sure that it actually aligns with the games that they want to put out.
Do that.
Because you don't want to like taint anybody's creative freedom.
No,
I think part
but
of the problem is the creative freedom's being tainted for monetary
True.
gain.
yeah, that, and it's just like I think there is a balance. Like in art, typically there's a balance between like making something for yourself and making something for an audience, right? Like I think that there is a very fine line to skirt. Um, like you know, and I think that that's partially. I think that some of these devs were making too much stuff for themselves, right? Like Avowed, I love Pillars of Eternity, right? I think that those games are fantastic, and I was really excited for it because I thought that maybe it was going to be a Skyrim killer or like a better version of the Outer Worlds or something, and it just kind of wasn't. Especially because it's not exactly a pre-established world. Like it is, but it's very niche. It's a CRPG series, and there's only 2 games. But like that wasn't going to sell, no matter how you sliced it. It just was not going to sell at all. It's a niche game for a niche audience, and I just don't think that it had the mainstream appeal. And so like I don't even really know like why that was worth the investment, right? I mean, they were even making a sequel. I think that that's a silly move to even be working on a sequel. Like the fact that they were even working, I love Obsidian, but I do not know why they were working on a Vow 2 sequel. They must have not had anything better to fucking do. You know what I mean? Like, it's just crazy. It's like I think that there is some kind of fine line. If you have too much creative freedom, you make garbage that nobody wants. You have to like keep the consumers in mind and what they want. You have to make a little bit of money, right? Like that's just how you stay afloat. It's an unfortunate reality of what this all is. You have to make these sacrifices sometimes. You have to skirt that fine line between what you want and what the customer wants. Sometimes it really is just as easy as like we're making Fallout, and everyone just collectively goes, "Thank fucking God!" Like holy shit, it's been like a billion years. It's like that's a good feeling when they announce something that you want. It's a good feeling. I don't need all this slop. Like I don't need an Avowed 2 sequel. I don't.
I don't even remember anything about Avowed.
Exactly. It was a cool concept. It was a very cool concept. It took, like it wanted to explore one of the continents, especially like the weird and wacky one. It was supposed to be very Morrowindy, but it just it didn't do anything. It just was very whatever. I played like a quarter of it and put it down. I was like, this sucks. Like it doesn't suck. It just wasn't. I played better games. You know, part of me just wanted to play Pillars of Eternity 1 again, and I think I did. I'm pretty sure I went back and just played Pillars 1 again because like this game's so fucking good, dude. Like why would I? God, I'm sorry, I'm going off track.
It's just like, why? Like, why waste the resources on something that nobody asked for? And I
Mm-hmm.
get it. I completely get it. And I understand it. And I think this is a great time for Microsoft and Sony and anybody else out there who wants to go on a small studio buying spree. It's like, there has to be a fine line somewhere. Like, you can't you can't pull what Sony did with Hideo Kojima and just let him do whatever he wants while he prances in the flowers. Like, that man is on a different level. Like, these studios need some guidance because at the end of the day you're investing a lot of money into them. They need to be able to actually deliver on what you're investing in. So now let's talk about Sony.
Oh god.
So I'm like kind of torn on this because it's like everybody's crying about about Sony going completely digital, and to me it's like when Steam came out and it was all digital, everybody threw a fit about PC games not having CDs anymore, and oh my gosh, gaming is gonna die, and all this over dramatic seriously. And now PC, I mean, we survived, PC is probably doing better than and people don't realize that. My problem though is like we've been heading towards an all digital era for years now. I know a lot of games are purchased digitally through Xbox and PlayStation. Um, I haven't bought a physical game in like 2 or 3 years. So to me, it's like people need to stop freaking out because we've been through this. This is not the first time we've done this. The problem is how are Sony's policies going to be when they go digital? Um, are they going to have the same policies and support that Valve does? Because honestly, that's why Steam works, is because Valve knows what they're doing. They know how to run an online, digital only storefront. So it's like we got to see how Sony handles everything, how Sony does everything before we could start crying and claiming everything's on fire when nah, it's just a little bit of smoke. So to me, it's just right now. It's we have to wait to see how this is going to turn out. Because look at Grand Theft Auto 6, digital only, and people were whining and crying about, oh, I can't Grand Theft Auto 6. I've been reading reports that they've already pre-ordered millions of copies of Grand Theft Auto 6, and a majority of those pre-orders were the $100 version. So it's like you're crying about Sony going discless, and yet you're okay with Grand Theft Auto being discless. That doesn't make sense to me.
I honestly, I think this new wave of digital media, um and the whole debate on, like, are you actually buying that media or are you just buying rights to the license to that media for a period of time? I think that is something that needs to be looked at, and I feel like needs to be reworded in law somewhere.
Well, that's the thing though, is I'm seeing people say like, "Oh, when I buy the game on Steam, I'm actually buying the game," and I'm like, no, when you're buying something off of Steam, you're buying the ability to download it and play it through a license. That's why when you boot up a game on Steam for an EULA comes because you're agreeing to buying just the license, and that's kind of a mistake people are making and assuming you don't, because I've seen people lose their games on Steam because they broke that license. And I don't think it happens enough for people to see, no, Steam is a license. And that's why Sony has to handle it the same way Steam does.
I just think that this is definitely going to be a fight that
Mm-hmm.
we're going to have moving forward. Because it's not just a fight within video games, it's a fight everywhere. Movies and music and books, for example, ebooks. And I feel like this is something that, while yes, there are more important topics that we should be talking about within our government and society, I feel like this is important as well, because why would I want to spend $100 on digital media that I could potentially lose
Mm-hmm.
within hours or minutes? Because all they have to do is hit a switch, that shit's gone from everybody's
Mm-hmm.
PC or gaming system. And
And
like, I of course want companies to make their money. They've invested so much in what they've made. But at the same exact time, it's almost like you're asking me to give you money for something, yet in reality, you're not really giving me anything.
yep.
And it's just like, why is that fair? You're going to lose a lot of people. And I get where Sony's coming from. I feel like Sony's very much like, oh my god, Steam does it, we can too. Except Sony doesn't realize that the people who play console, they want that physical media. There's a reason why they're still on console and they haven't switched over to PC. And for them to just sort of shoot themselves in the foot like that, I I don't foresee this going well for Sony within the coming years.
I think I think people are going to realize they have no choice the way they did with PC, and all this bitching will stop. And because I think the only storefront that lets you own the game is Good Old Gaming. And if I'm not mistaken, even that disc you're buying from Sony, you still have a licensing or something like that. Like, I think that's how it is. Yes, you have the disc, but that's why you have to download stuff extra.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, sorry, I'm looking it up.
Brennan, do you have anything to add?
I feel conflicted like Mike does. To be honest with you, I didn't really make the connection to Steam at all, and it is kind of scary that at least on PC, almost exclusively every game that I own on PC is digital. Um, there are a lot of games on my PlayStation and on my Switch that are digital, but I do also have some physical copies of games. Sometimes it's just like, sometimes like physical versions will go on sale, where the digital version won't, and vice versa. Um, but like, I don't know, it's just one of those things where, to be honest with you, I didn't read into the rationale behind the decision. I've mostly just been reading about like the backlash that people have had. So even from like a business perspective, I can't even explain why Sony's doing it. But yeah, I mean, it's like on one hand, yes, Steam's entire business model is backed off of digital, and it hasn't been a problem in like 20 years that Steam's been around. Um, I still have every game that I've ever bought, even from like 15 years ago. So it's like I can't really complain. Um, but that's not like physically in my hand, right? So that is kind of hard to visualize that I'll have forever. But on the flip side, I think that there is some value to physical games, especially in an age where video games are kind of now that they're going to be like $70-$80. It's a very expensive hobby. So I think that there are a lot of people out there that like kind of rely on their friends lending them physical games, taking games out from like libraries and stuff, pre-owned games. There's like an entire economy behind pre-owned games, and I think that Sony pulling out physical copies will probably nail GameStop a bit, because I don't think that GameStop's just going to start selling digital codes, or whatever. Maybe I'm wrong, but like I think that that'll get hit too. It affects more than just like Sony's bottom line or their publishers' bottom lines or whatever. Who's ever paying for like the fucking plastic and the paper and cartridge or whatever. But like as someone that like and I'm sure that Mike did too. Like growing up, like a lot of the games that I played were, I'd trade with friends. Like that's what it was. It was swapping stuff around. Like the first time I played Red Dead Redemption, it was my friend Collins. He let me borrow it for like a month. There were games that I'd like lent my friends. Being able, like especially as a kid too, it was difficult being able to purchase every game that you wanted. So that's what it was. Like you would talk to your friends. All right, well, if I get this game and you get that game, after like 2 months, let's swap. Even my little brother, a lot of my games were hand-me-downs to my little brother. Even to this day, like he's still playing some of my Switch cartridges and stuff. Like it's just, I think there's a whole, maybe I'm speaking from nostalgia there purely, but I do genuinely think that there's, there are people to this day that can't afford every game. They go to libraries, they go to their friends, pre-owned. Yeah, it sucks to see. I think that it's a dangerous precedent to set, and I hope that maybe like Microsoft, I mean, Nintendo already kind of even did this. Like, yeah, you get what do they call it? I forget what it's called, the game key card or whatever.
Yeah, if you buy a digital game, it has a digital card.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's like, and I bought I don't know if I told you guys, but a month ago, a couple weeks ago, I broke down and I bought a Switch 2. And I bought Dragon Quest VII Reimagined on Amazon because it was like, I think it was on sale. It was cheaper. And you get the little cartridge, but you still have to, once you put the cartridge in, you still have to wait like an hour for the thing to download. Like the cartridge itself isn't the game. The cartridge is the physical license. It's like it's really weird. It's really fucking weird. Yeah, you still I very much still like getting a physical copy. Like I even what I love the most too, especially about games nowadays, whenever you do get physical copies, is you take the box art and sometimes if you flip it, there'll be like, extra art on the back. I fucking love that. There's something so much about it. Like even the Dragon Quest VII, it like has some of the classic Akira Toriyama box art when you flip out in the inside. And I propped it up like on my end tables. Like every time I look over at it, it's like a little piece of artwork, and it's a fucking game case. There's tiny things like that that make me really like happy, and to hear Sony kind of destroying all discs kind of hurts a little, but I don't think that it would make gaming go boom. I don't think that everything would explode overnight. I think the sun will still rise tomorrow, and I think everyone will be fine. But it is just like a sad relic of time, right? It's like, I don't know. Did people feel this way about CDs and like Walkmans and shit? Like, I don't know. I think that eventually, things that might just be like, well, I mean, I don't know. retro. There are even like video game companies, like limited run games or whatever, that will take indie games and then put them into cartridges and give you a physical copy, so you actually have like like fucking Hollow Knight, like there's physical Hollow Knight copies. It's crazy. It's really cool. What happens to that shit? I mean, well, it's not going to be a PlayStation exclusive, so it's besides the point. But still, there's a whole market behind this shit. It's just kind of Sony's just saying fuck you to it, and I'm not smart enough or understand the reason why. I had a lot of opinions. I'm sorry.
Yeah, oh no, I'm the same.
It's just strange. I just don't think that there's a right or wrong answer here. Like, yes, it sucks on paper, but it'll be fine. It sucks, but it'll be fine.
Everything's gonna be fine. Like, you're not gonna turn your PlayStation on 2028 and everything's just gonna explode.
Yeah, it's like
This reminds me of when Xbox or Microsoft announced that like it had your Xbox had to be always on, and everybody like freaked the fuck out.
oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I just part of me is just like, why? Like, it doesn't seem like this needs to happen, but you're going to make it happen. So like, what's the point? Like, is it really hurting you that much that you need to stop making physical discs? Like, I don't really get it.
I can also see it from a financial standpoint. Now they don't have to make consoles. Now they don't have to spend the money to print like the art Brennan was saying. They don't have to spend the
Yeah.
Same thing with when CDs went out of fashion and we started doing all. It was like now these publishing companies that publish music didn't need to print CDs anymore or as much. It was a financial thing. And with the way that Sony and Microsoft are bleeding out right now, everybody, this isn't a surprise.
I just think that I think this is with everything going on, I feel like we might see a rise in smaller studios. And I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I just feel like you're going to have a lot more people who are putting faith in crowdsourcing or like funding the game that they want to make a different way rather than trying to appeal to a big name like Sony.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, that's awesome because fuck these big companies. Like, yes, they have lots of money and that's good and that's all grand, but
They just don't know how to use that money.
exactly. So, anyway, um, anybody got anything else to add?
Don't go to school. Play video games.
Yeah. Don't do school. Go to drugs.
Whoa, I don't know about that.
I'm by drugs, I mean um Smurf Village Party.
Oh man, that's some
Not
heavy
that
stuff right
game.
there, man. I don't know if some of these people are ready for it, man.
It's one hell of a drug.
Chasing the dragon right there.
I was just gonna say you gotta chase that Smurf, man.
Yeah.
You got me all smurfed up. Holy shit.
Oh.
I can't take it.
I
Anyway,
can't take it anymore.
Get out. Anyway, that is the end of our episode for July and August of the pre-review crew. Come back next month to see how the games for August have done and if there's anything new that Sony and Microsoft are fucking up. That is it from us here. I hope you have a great morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world, and we will catch you back here next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye bye.